So I've got my tonal ladders that I've practiced with my marks on in front of me so that I know what kind of marks I'm going to do. I've also got the picture of my dragonfly in front of me, and I've started at the bottom of the body. I just needed somewhere to start. I don't know why I started here, but it works quite well, I suppose. And I start building up the tones on each individual part of the body because that gives me something to concentrate on. So if you look closely, you can see that I'm using lots of different marks. So I'm using a bit of hatching. I'm using quite a lot of dots to get that difference in tone. So the dots are going closer together where I've got a darker tone, and then further apart where I've got a lighter tone. And then to get an even darker tone, so on the bottom of the body you can see it slightly, I've put in some hatching over the top. I've used my my pen quite lightly so that it's just kind of brushing over the paper, and then it gives you a slightly different tone. I'm really looking at all of the details that I can see on my picture, and I'm purposely leaving areas white because I don't want to go too dark on those areas. I also find it easier, and some people will completely disagree with me here, but sometimes I rub out as I go, and so that I can know I've got the right level of tone on the area that I'm working on, because sometimes if you rub out your pencil, your pen marks are very different. So if you've gone over a certain area and then you start rubbing out your pencil, it looks completely different. The other thing that I was really looking at is the marks that were already there on my picture. So the pictures that you are drawing from today are drawings, so they are drawings by other artists, which means that they have used similar techniques to what we are using now. So I was really looking at what they had done with things like the texture of the wings and the marks on the legs, and I was trying to replicate those. So you can see that I build up my tones. So I've got quite a lot of quite dark tones in there, but there are certain areas like where the wings connect to the body that I keep adding tones to make them kind of fit in and to make them similar to what you can see on the picture. So when I'm doing the hatching on the wings, there's a little bit of hatching on the wings. I'm making sure that I don't press too hard with my pen, even though it doesn't change that much. You do get a different kind of mark if you just kind of brush your pen over rather than if you press down really hard. And that's because the paper is textured, so it picks up on some of your drawing. So here I rub out and I just see what I'm left with, and actually I was quite happy with it. The thing that I was worried about was the wings, so I wanted to rub out and see what I had. So now I've finished my biro drawing and I've got my tonal drawing above it, and then at the side I've got my line drawing, and I've started to add some kind of steampunk elements, which I'm going to go over in biro, and do a little insect title for those. I'm really happy with the way that my dragonfly came out. I think it looks really good, and I'm happy with all the different marks I used. So I managed to get lots of dots and then some hatching, so those straight lines, and then in the top of the body I used squiggles. So I'm happy with all of the different marks, and I like the contrast between the biro and then the kind of smooth and shininess of the beetle.